Hi, good evening, everyone. I hope you can all hear me fine. If you can just let me know that you can hear me and see me okay. Welcome to the members live chat tonight. And we have some interesting developments, as many of you may know. And therefore, the topic for tonight, something I haven't really touched on in a very long time, except in my double O days meetings in the past. In the last recorded meeting, I didn't go into detail into the royal family because the meeting would have carried on for 10 hours plus if I did that. So tonight, I will delve into that. Yeah, hi to all of you. We have about 35 people watching now. Let's see if more people come into the live stream. We should really get going when we get to just over 100 of the members in the stream. Liz says 8 is a preferred time for load shedding in your side of Pretoria. Yeah, we haven't seen load shedding yet where we are, but Eskom put out a notice that load shedding will carry on throughout the night and throughout the day tomorrow, 5 till 10 tomorrow night. So it's not stopping at 10 tonight. Hi, Justin, you're early for a change. Yeah, this is a very interesting topic. It's not many people that I think has my insight on this topic, and a very important one at that. So earlier, when Lauren told me, I had a very busy day. When Lauren told me that Charles is literally hanging like over the Queen at the moment, I thought it was very fitting that we touch on this topic again and for me to explain to you what will happen with regards to the Committee of 300 if the Queen passes on and how the end of the Windsors is a very important part of history because it'll certainly take place. It has to take place for a one world government to be brought into being. And nothing will stop that from happening. We can stop what happens to us here in South Africa, but there will certainly be many countries that will ascribe to this one world government concept, and countries will cease to exist the way we know them today, with the borders existing the way it is. And we need to make sure that in South Africa, we can stand separate to that. That is very important. Hi, Marty, 15 months a member. So, yeah, welcome to anyone that is new. If you haven't been in any of the live streams, then you can go and watch all the past live streams. They're all in the member section. And as I explained last week, every members live stream I do punishes the channel heavily because there's only a certain amount of members that watch the video, and the YouTube algorithm actually sees it as a failure because it doesn't get more views than the amount of members on the channel, and therefore sees it as an ineffective video, which is quite sad. And hopefully they will change that in future and they will separate the membership live streams from the normal live streams that I do. Yeah, welcome to all the new members. There's many new members on the channel, and it's really great to have this community. It's this community that makes the channel possible and keeps the channel going. And just to explain again how the memberships work for those people that aren't sure, there's 3 membership levels. It's the double O days membership, then there's interactive. For the interactive membership, there's a Zoom meeting we do once a month, the last Wednesday of every month. We do an interactive Zoom meeting if you're interested in that. And then we have the double O days meeting membership, which is for the 7.5 hour long format double O days meeting. And also on that membership level, I will frequently do meetings on a specific topic. It'll also be done in Zoom. The interactive members will have access to that live Zoom meeting, but the recording will be for double O days meeting members. And on the 20th of this month, I will be doing the end game. So that'll be the topic for that meeting. It'll be a 2-hour meeting, And most of the meetings of such a topic will be 2 hours long. So it's not going to be a whole day thing. And then you will have access to that. So you can become a WOD's meeting member at any stage for you to watch those recordings if you want to. If you don't want to, that's fine. If you're an interactive member, you can be part of the live event, which is what I recommend. And then you can ask questions, be in that event, and I think you can benefit from it. So welcome to the members. This is really awesome. There's 85 of us now. And this topic, I don't think I've spoken about in a very long time. The fact that the Queen of England is the token leader of the Committee of 300. And that committee encompasses all of the royalty in the world that is important to the new world order being implemented. And when I say that, a lot of people think doom and gloom, bad and sad, etc. The Queen certainly doesn't see it like that. She thinks that the new order that's being created is one that'll help humanity to reach its best possibilities. And she has fought many battles within that committee, make no mistake. And she has disagreed with many things that the committee has done. But because she's a token monarch and she has resisted many of the things the committee wanted to do, she has had huge influence in their lack of success. So don't give her such a hard time. The Queen has done many things to thwart a lot of their efforts. Make no mistake. One of the things is removing all money. She was dead against that. She made sure that money remained in circulation. She didn't agree with that based on principle. And people like Charles, if the Queen should pass away, Charles's son will sell his soul for anything to get fame because he's been living in the coattails of his mother his entire life. And, you know, I always called him Wingnut in the meetings because Wingnut can't wait to become king and to be on the throne. And the Committee of 300 wanted to decide quite a long time ago, do we allow this guy to actually become the king? Because then he becomes a spokesperson for the committee and he's made a complete fool of himself in the past while doing that. And I've covered this at length. So those of you that haven't seen those videos, you can go and look for them on the channel WOD's on Prince Charles, the declarations he made, how he put his foot in it, and expose the agenda of the committee. So the Queen herself, I believe, believed that she's trying to do the best for humanity and the people within England. Whether that is true or not is up for debate, but she believed it. She didn't go out to try and schneid the whole world or anything like that. When she didn't agree with something, she just stayed in the background. And maybe that's not the best thing to do. But I can tell you, someone like her son, Charles, that wants to grab fame, etc., he's going to be a different kettle of fish. And he has been very outspoken, and so has his sons, on many of the agendas of the United Nations. And this is problematic, where the Queen did not just fall in line with what the UN wanted. You know, she grew up through the Second World War. She's experienced many things. She's seen many things. She's actually worked in the military, etc. If you look at her life, you will understand, okay, firstly, that she's not a reptile, that she's also not a clone, but that she's not stupid to what's happening in the world. Now, for her to be the token monarch or leader in this Committee of 300, she doesn't appreciate that. That is clear, because she hasn't really given a lot of impetus to her role. And this has created problems for the committee because there's so many people around the world that see her as the queen for the world. And this one world order leader that they want to institute later needs to follow on her life. And they never imagined that Charles would be in the running or even involved. They have wanted things to progress to way further than they are right now. And I think she had a lot to do with thwarting a lot of their efforts. Charles is a different kettle of fish. And if he becomes king, things could accelerate with regards to the committee's plans at a pace like you've never seen. All the things that the World Economic Forum wants to implement will accelerate. The things that the Bilderberg Group wants to implement will accelerate. The things that the Trilateral Commission wants to implement will accelerate. The things that the Zionist movement wants to implement will accelerate. There will be many accelerations because Charles will make it possible for politicians in the UK and many other places. He will give them that impetus. And he's made it clear in his speeches before that he will fight climate change. And when the climate is changing, but what he believes is human-induced climate change, the sun obviously in their mind is not the greatest factor in the universe when it comes to heat on Earth. And the things that he's willing to do for the UN, Agenda 2021, or the agenda for the 21st century and Agenda 2030, those agendas, he will be a champion for those. And he will shout and scream for it. And that's why I met Greta Thunberg, and once you see the problems developing around that dynamic, then you will understand that we're in for a ride, quite a tough ride. And when I told people a long time ago that in future you'll be banned from braaiing, you won't be able to light firewood. This is directly related to this. But then the Windsor family has to come to a fall because the world elites need to install something more superior than the royal family to head this one world order. And it's not going to be Charles. I can tell you that now. Maybe William will be there in an interim format. If Charles can do what they want, he might be there for a period of time, but I don't believe it will be very long. So things will change for that family and they will become irrelevant in future, completely irrelevant. And then you go over to a whole new phase of the implementation plan to get to a place where we have a one world government with a one world leader and a one world religion. And there is no place for the Windsor family in that plan. None whatsoever. Not for Charles, not for William. And as I said before, about 2 years ago, you would have seen William and Kate in every magazine when this whole COVID thing started. And it's because the committee wanted to test to see if the public actually saw him as the future king. And the interesting thing was the public preferred him over Charles, but they saw him as Diana's son. They didn't see him as the leader. And that was problematic for them. So they had to literally go with Charles, although they never wanted him to be the token monarch for the committee. And why is it important that the committee has a token monarch? It's symbolic. It's important to them because they installed the Windsors within England. It's a fake monarchy. And I don't want to go into the detail of that now. But they had to be installed there to achieve certain things, especially taking the Bavarian Illuminati plan to the rest of the world. Britain was chosen as the country that would colonize everywhere and create this greater good ideology. And that is certainly something the Queen believed in. And so I totally disagree with her with regards to that. I don't believe in greater good ideology. I believe it's better that you give up your life to remain free. That you should never ever give up your freedom to save your life. And she has certainly battled with that concept throughout her life. And I don't know where she stands on that at the moment. It'll actually be fascinating to see. But that is with regards to the Queen. That is certainly, she's 96 years old. The entire royal family was called to Balmoral, where doctors made a declaration today that she's ill and she's being monitored, but they said that she's comfortable. Who knows? She might live for another 4 years. She might live for another 10 years. But, people like drama. So at the BBC, I mean, the main commentators have dressed up in the attire as if the Queen should pass on, out of respect. They have this whole plan laid out, and many of you will know what this plan is named, and it's well known to the public. It's not a secret that very specific things will be put in place, and they have already gone and pegged certain things in their markets just in case something should happen to the Queen. And a lot of people will think, but why should that influence the world at all? It is because she's the token monarch of the world, not just of England. And I don't think a lot of people understand this. So, because she's a token monarch for the world, she can head the Committee of 300 as a monarch. However, the Council of 13 Families run that committee, and they are only using the Queen. She doesn't like that. Diana didn't like that. Diana asked her sons never, ever to become a part of the committee. And there William goes, and he becomes a part of it. He's a member of the committee. He gives input at those meetings. And so he's a freaking sellout. And it's actually quite annoying. People in the royal family don't really have a choice. I mean, you're born into it and you just become a part of the committee. You become a committee member. And the committee consists of mostly royal people throughout the world, and then other influences that can assist them in achieving their end goals. So, hi Erika, hi Kay. The Queen has passed already. When has the Queen passed, Kay? Has there been an official announcement? Let's see. If the Queen has passed. Wow. Okay. So this article is from 2 minutes ago. Okay, it just came out 2 minutes ago. So Queen Elizabeth II, this is the BBC officially, has died. Buckingham Palace announces. Okay, I'll give you the link here so you can go and have a look. That is the official broadcaster that will carry very specific information with regards to that. I actually have chills going through me knowing what that means. Wow. I know I spoke about this at length, and there will be a lot of scrambling happening now. The stock markets will be pegged. They will be closed for trade. There's many things that will happen now. Yes, London Bridge has fallen. Yeah, so the Queen has passed. Wow. Yeah, this is, like you say, that it makes tonight's stream very relevant. It actually makes it very difficult to continue, considering what I know. But I will stick with you. I need to make a couple of phone calls. Wow. The things that are being put in place now, and I need to wrap my head around everything at the moment. It's the last thing I was thinking of happening tonight. I didn't think it would happen today. So when they made the initial announcement, they said that she was comfortable at home. The family was called to a bedside, but the fact that the announcement has been made now is quite profound. It's everywhere. And this will be in the news for a long period of time. And there will be a period of mourning and many other things happening. So this is an end of an era, especially for the committee. Very important era, because there will be a transition now from here, and Charles might be a part of that transition for the committee as the head of the committee. They don't want him. They think he's an idiot. To a literal leader that the world will be focused on. And it cannot be William in the end. So it's going to be fascinating to see how the Windsors are phased out, because the Windsors will fall. It was part of the plan. I know my father spoke about that very specifically. And during the fall of the Windsors, um, Britain will lose their power, America will lose their power, all these countries, all these governments will lose their power to introduce this one world order. You will see people like Klaus Schwab having way more power than any of these people could ever wield as a member of the committee and a person used to wield economic power, which is way more powerful than just the Queen. So this is the end of a time where someone could still hold the committee in check to a certain degree. And a lot of people might say the worst things about the Queen. I can tell you that she had a huge influence in them not achieving a no fiat currency world by 1995, because that was their plans. They didn't achieve it, and she was one of the biggest orchestrators of that not happening. I haven't spoken to people about it before, but I think it's very relevant now that people do understand that the Queen actually bought us a lot of time. Just like people might hate Jacob Zuma, he bought us a lot of time by not rolling out 5G. He knew exactly what they were trying to do with that technology. And in future, people will still thank him for it. And I'm not saying that the Queen was a good person or Jacob Zuma was a good person. That's not what it's about. It's about very specific things that affect our freedom. And the Queen did believe in freedom of choice. And I think that's where it becomes complicated when you confuse greater good ideology with freedom. Um, there's nothing free about the greater good ideology as long as it's forced on people. So, yeah, wow. Yes, Charles automatically becomes king at the moment. That was not the plan, by the way. I know that the Rothschilds had a huge problem with Charles becoming king. But Charles has tried his best to be their lapdog. So, I mean, he's done everything textbook to actually let these people give him a chance. I don't know how it's going to pan out. I must be honest with you. It's going to be very interesting. It'll depend on what he does. And I think he will do everything they ask him to do. That's what I believe he's going to do from now. Marlene says, get off the treadmill of consumerism fast and become self-reliant ASAP. The ride is about to get very rough. Marlene, with Charles not as king. I mean, I don't care about him as king. With Charles, being at the token head of this organization, where the Queen has been the token head now for more than half a century, is a huge problem. Go and listen to Charles' speeches. He's going to give impetus to these plans like you cannot believe. New Prime Minister confirmed Charles as the king. Thanks, AJ. And we have a new they have a new prime minister too. Isn't that ironic? Just wow, people. It's really difficult for me to continue with this live stream. There's so much I need to think about and consider. Do you have any questions for me? I can't say how she passed. I don't think that she was old. She was 96 years old. So I mean, she lived to a good age. Hi, Inferno. She lived to a good age, and you know, when I was speaking to my wife earlier, I said a lot of people think that she's the devil's spawn and all sorts of things. It's not fair on Elizabeth because she was thrust into something she didn't ask for. And I think under the circumstances, if people actually understand what she managed to achieve in stopping idiots from doing certain things in very complicated situations. Remember, she's trying to protect the family. It wasn't her fault that they were installed the way that they were. She's just a human. So it was very complicated. And she didn't order for Diana to be taken out. When Diana told her sons that they shouldn't become a part of the committee, I mean, that was a death sentence. And, Harry is the only one that hasn't become a member of the committee. But he's spewing the same nonsense. So, I mean, he might just as well be there. He's certainly supporting his father, spewing out the narrative. And, William is already a member of the committee. Charles has been a member of the committee since forever. The entire royal family is there. Yeah, Grace, maybe I should set another time for live stream. I really need to consider many things because I don't know how YouTube is going to treat me discussing this information now. So yeah, this is really a big deal. It's not. I mean, when you said earlier that she's actually passed, I thought that you meant that she actually passed years ago and we're just seeing a clone or something. I didn't know that she actually passed now. The news just broke. When I looked at it, it was 2 minutes old. Will tomorrow evening be okay? Yeah, maybe a Zoom meeting. I think a Zoom meeting will be better. Will you be okay if I call a Zoom meeting tomorrow evening? But I don't want to make it too late. There's a reason why the Queen felt close to South Africa, and I do want to discuss that with you because I think people are giving her undue flack. Okay. Because then we can be more, if we can do a Zoom tomorrow, is it okay if we do it at 7? If we do it like from 7 to 8 tomorrow evening? Can we do a Zoom from 7 to 8 tomorrow evening? And I'll give you a link and then we can talk to each other. Okay. 7 to 11. Well, I don't know how long it's going to be. We will discuss for as long as we have to, but we do a Zoom then. I think this definitely calls for it. Okay. So obviously the interactive members, everyone will be there. The WOD's meeting members, all of you will be able to join in the Zoom. So I'll put out the Zoom link tomorrow evening, 10 to 7. I'll put out the link and then I'll see you in Zoom. Okay. I am rattled, Arnu. I don't think people comprehend yet what this means now. I need to go speak to my family. Okay. So tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock, we meet on Zoom. Okay. Okay, see you all then tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock for that Zoom meeting. Okay. Good night, everyone. Yeah, so the Zoom meeting I will put in the community tab. Okay. The link will be in the community tab, and I'll put it there for the members, for interactive, and for the WOD's meeting members. But so the meeting members should get 3 notifications, the interactive should get 2, and the members should get 1 notification with that Zoom link, and then we can have a proper discussion. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Good night. Please listen to what is happening in the rest of the world. Look at what is happening in other countries. Forget about Britain. Everything is set out there. Look at what other people in the world is saying. Also, look at what they are not saying. Okay. Look at what they are not saying, please. Okay. Thanks, people. Good night.